Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for all of the love and support on my first YouTube video. I didn't know what to expect. I'm just here for a great time. Today we're going to do the mid-year tag. So a lot of other bookstagrammers, booktubers, booktalkers, all the people with all their books doing this tag, and I wanted to get involved. Why the hell not, you know? Don't know who created it. I'm just happy to be here. Okay, I am a very indecisive person and I feel like that will very much come through in this video. Anyway, let's get started. Grab yourself a coffee. And let's go. What is the best book you've read so far in 2026? It's like you're asking me to pick a favourite child. I don't have any children, but I can imagine this is exactly what it's like. I cannot just give you one book. So I've narrowed it down to 4. Air of Illusion by Madeline Taylor. This is the perfect enemies to lovers romantasy. I binged this book so much. It's such a fantastic standalone book. It's like false proximity, enemies to lovers, all the angst, the slow burn, the yearning, the tension. Honestly, one of my top reads of the year so far. This is a very strong book. I somehow need to get my grubby mitts on these books. Fury Bound by Sable Sorensen. This is the second book, the first book being Direbound. Such a strong second book. Like, can we all give Sable Sorensen a big fat round of applause? Because this is how you do a second book. I think this possibly could have topped the first. The stakes are so much higher in this book. I just feel like everything was amped up. Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. This is a dark romance. Please check the trigger warnings before reading this book because this is a very dark book. I cannot say I've ever read anything like this before. It was a big fat eye-opener, but in the best way, honestly. It's such a heartbreaking story, but it's also so beautiful, and it's about 2 people that come together through a very traumatic experience. I was gripped from the first page. Absolute masterpiece of a novel because, honey, this is fantastic. House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J Maas. This is the first book in the Crescent City series and this was phenomenal. I loved being back in a Sarah J Maas universe. I loved everything about this book. The characters, the like mystery of it all, the brewing romance, the world building, just everything about this book was sensational. Hot take, but I genuinely think that I preferred Crescent City to Throne of Glass. I'm totally obsessed with Bryce and Hunt. I'm sorry, but to this day, I think about them every single day. You best believe when I'm making a coffee in the morning, I'm wondering what Bryce is up to. When I brush my teeth at night, I'm thinking like, what did Hunt get up to today? So the next question is, what is the best sequel that you have read this year? The Night Prince by Lauren Paffer Roman. This was so good. I think I spoke about this book in my last video. It makes me feel a certain type of way, okay? Like I said, it gives Rhysand from ACOTAR, dark vibes. The plot completely switches up from the first book, which you will love, might I add. The stakes are higher. Our main character is trying to figure out what she should do. Should she go with her head? Should she go with her heart? The false proximity is just unmatched. And it kind of felt like we were going from A Court of Thorns and Roses to A Court of Mist and Fury. You know that jump where there's a whole shift in the narrative? That is what this book feels like. You know you're going down like a dark, dangerous, mysterious path, but you're completely hooked because it's just so good. New releases that you haven't read but you want to. I don't know how new this is. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I feel like I need this book in my hands. I might just buy it after this video. Everyone has hyped this book up so much. I feel left out of the book chat and I very much want to be in the book chat. So I might just buy the book. I might try and slot it in to August. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I have a couple, of course. Cross Check by Chelsea Curto. I believe this is the 5th book in the DC Star series, but one thing I will say about Miss Curto, she knows how to write her men. She knows how to write her spice. We've had so many teasers about Grant, who this book is about, in the first 4 books of the DC Star series. So I'm really excited to jump into his story and I just cannot wait to see where it goes. Daybreak by Autumn Woods. This comes out in literally a handful of days. I'm talking like 2 days time. The first book, Nightshade, probably was one of my favourite reads of last year. I was screaming about this book to everyone that I know. Like, I think people were getting a bit annoyed with me because I wouldn't shut up about this book. And I have faith that Daybreak will be even better. I've seen the arcs go out. People have said this is such a gorgeous conclusion to this duology. And I'm just really excited. And I've seen the works, the sprayed edge. Listen, it's calling me. Of course, ACOTAR 6 by Sarah J Maas. What are we all thinking about the title and the colour? In my head, I've got green or purple for the colour. Title, do not know, but I've actually booked a couple of days off work for when this comes out because I'm so excited. How are we getting another ACOTAR book? Not just 1, but 2. I'm so excited to see what Sarah is planning. When this book comes out, the whole world will just stop. The book community will be quaking in their little booties. Do you know what I mean? The Knave and the Moon by Rachel Gillig. I read The Night and the Moth this year and it has been such a surprising book for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So different to anything I've ever read before. The magic system was gorgeous. This is going to be where it's at. I have such high expectations for this book. Possibly better than the first, but then and again that's hard to beat because the first one is just so good. Threshing Day by Rebecca Yarros. We're getting a novella. An itsy bitsy baby little book full of 13 little stories. This is so unique, so different, and I feel like we need this. Like, Rebecca is feeding us, and I love that for us. The biggest surprise would be the ending of Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider. This knocked me for 6. I am unwell. I'm on the floor. I can't breathe. Can we open some windows? Are you joking me? The best plot twist that I never saw coming. Rachel, tell me, hun, how do you come up with these things? I would buy the book just for the ending because it was the best surprise of the year so far, to be honest. Now, to flip the script, the biggest letdown, which breaks my heart, was actually Lightwielder by Rachel Schneider. I had such high hopes for Lightwielder, but it was so boring and I found myself disconnecting from the story. I had to keep going back to keep reading over the same pages because I was just thinking about other things when I was reading and I was like, come on, what is happening? I just expected so much more and it makes me really sad to say because I was so looking forward to Lightwielder. But I do have faith that the next book, she will be able to bring it back. Twisted Love by Anna Huang. I saw so much hype about this series. I literally got about, I can't even remember, but I did make a book talk about it. Someone out there convinced me to continue reading this series because for me, this is not it. It's giving mediocre. It's giving 3 stars. It's got like 20% of the way. And I was like, what is this trash? I'm sorry, but what is this book? The writing is awful. I found it really hard to read in the sense of that it just wasn't really good. I just didn't care for the characters, the story. And I've seen that this is going to be a TV series. Fingers crossed it's better than the first book. A lot of people said to me that the second book is the best one. So do I need to give this series another chance? Let me know. As of right now, Twisted Love was a big fat letdown. Favourite author, debut or new to you? I've got 4 as of right now, okay? Of course I do, I've got 4. Taylor Jenkins Reid, I will read anything this lady puts out into the world, absolutely yes. LJ Claren, who is the author of Silversmith. Madeline Taylor, the author of Air Revolution, love. This book had me in a chokehold. Anything this lady puts out, I'm in. Count me in. Absolutely. And lastly, Sheila Matteson. I've just started reading The Poisoned Daughter, and I'm not even halfway, but what I can already tell you is I am obsessed with this author. Don't know if she has any other books out, but I will be looking after I finish The Poisoned Daughter. Favourite characters. Gargoyle from The Knight and the Moth is the cutest side character that I've ever read. He made this book. If I could have Gargoyle in my life, that would be great. Thanks. La Harbour from Crescent City series. Honestly pulled at my heartstrings. What a badass little fairy, little fireball fairy thing. Brave soul, incredible little side character, badass bitch, okay? She brought so much to the Crescent City series. Oh, a book that made you cry? The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. If you want a book that feels like your heart has been ripped out, thrown on the floor and stamped on a couple of times, it would be this book. So sad, broke my heart, but also the massive question of why. It didn't need to be this way, Rebecca, but she made it this way. I had a headache for days. It was not my finest moment. I was ugly crying. This book is so heartbreaking. It took me a couple of days to recover from reading this book. Awful, and actually I probably wouldn't recommend because it's just so sad. And it's like unnecessarily sad. Just when you think everything is okay and we're climbing back up, oh no you're not. She slowly turns it and we go back down. A book that made you happy, I would say Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. This is the first book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. It's a small town cowboy romance. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I've put many people onto this series. The happiness that I felt when reading this book was unmatched. I just had such a wave of calm, happiness, the vibes were vibey. Also, it's family found and you really feel like you're a part of this family and this friendship group. It was just such a happy like vibe of a book and such a strong first book in a series. I would highly recommend. The most beautiful book that you've bought or received, and it would have to be Daggermouth by H.M. Wolf, for the pure fact that this cover is absolutely sensational, okay? But this one has a very special place in my heart because it actually has a little quote inside from me right here. Yeah, little old me has made it into Daggermouth. I'm just going to say, very proud moment of mine, but it has a very special place in my heart because my little quote is inside. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? Stillborn by Taylor J. LaRue. And I just think the cover is absolutely stunning. I've seen everyone receive ARCs for this book and everyone has said flawless, 6-star. So this is one that I need to read by the end of the year. Riftborn. I've seen this floating around on my socials. Everyone seems to be loving this book and I feel like I would really vibe with it. Honestly, I just sat scrolling on my Goodreads for a good couple of minutes and I can't work out how many 5 stars I've given. But what I will do is I will put all my 5-star reads on the screen. I'm quite a harsh reviewer. These were all phenomenal. Hence why I gave them 5 stars. What books do you want to reread this year? I'm not really a rereader of books, but I have been thinking about rereading Nightshade by Autumn Woods before Daybreak comes out in a couple of days. So when you're watching this, I probably am reading this, feeling like I want a bit of a refresh before Daybreak. 5-star reads by the end of the year. ACOTAR 6 will definitely be up there for sure. I think this book that I'm reading now, The Poisoned Daughter, that is going to be a 5-star read for me. I am 20% in and I'm loving it. I am obsessed, I am addicted, I am turning those pages. I cannot stop thinking about it. The Knave and the Moon is also going to be a 5-star. I have high hopes for Daybreak. I can't actually think of any other books coming out this year, I'm going to be honest. I need to do a bit of research, don't I? Right guys, that is the end of my video. Thank you for being here, I really appreciate it. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll see you in my next one. If not, that's totally fine. Bye.